Hello everyone. Today we are going to tackle the subject of Dlss 5. It will be a short rant because I don't know how much I can record. The gist of it is the following. It should be optional. It shouldn't be mandatory, because let the people handle the raw thing, and also allow them to experiment with this filter, because this is in essence an advanced AI filter. It's a lighting filter, it's a shading filter. For example, you take Grace from Resident Evil 9 Requiem, I think, or Leon Kennedy, and you apply this filter on top of their already existing geometry, because you cannot make stuff up, because this is not actually AI from the ground up. This is not imagining things, but you take it and basically you apply this very thin superficial coat of AI filtering. Yeah, it's a beauty filter. It's like the kind of Instagram dating filter or dating app filter. But this is how it goes. There are persons who actually look that good in reality. This is not made up. This is not make-believe. Yeah, it may look uncanny, I agree with you, but this is, thence I strongly believe that this should be an option for every one of us who wants to experience games through that lens, through the Dlss 5 lens, should have the opportunity to do so. In terms of artistic intent and in terms of freedom of choice, it should exist, of course. And basically, the naysayers of today, the ones who are coming at this technology, are basically the people who cannot set aside the fact that NVIDIA is an evil company. They are working with Palantir, but this instance is not a problematic one, because you make this option. This doesn't mean that they don't have to optimize the games, because this is a superficial coating. Underneath, all the mechanics, all the geometry, all of the things that they need to intertwine, they need to work together, are below that. It's just a very fine veneer applied to the whole experience. So this is why I'm not against Dlss 5. In fact, this is one of the best news alongside Dlss 4.5 when it comes to gaming news coming from NVIDIA, because the rest is trash. Low capacity graphics cards, low raster power, because I think we are hitting that hard cap in terms of raster power, because AMD is not better at raster than NVIDIA. In fact, they are worse. And Intel is catching up from behind, but they are playing in a whole different league. And what I strongly suggest is that until we basically have a better manufacturing, more advanced manufacturing process, we cannot hope to squeeze more power out of graphics cards, because we are talking about really high resolutions, and AI has been helping us quite a lot, but it's not the kind of AI you would use for AI slop. Basically, being a handicapped person, wanting to become a handicapped person who is unable to do anything because AI is your virtual assistant deciding everything that you need to do. Basically, you are delegating authority to AI in terms of driving with the autonomous self-driving cars. You are delegating authority in terms of organizing your time plan, your own schedule, daily schedule. This is basically because in terms of rasterization, games are very complex. I'm really looking forward to the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4, long ago, it's not longer in production, the PlayStation 5 Pro patch for Cyberpunk 2077. Because this seems to me like it is finally time to get to Cyberpunk 2077 and to actually play it on the PlayStation 5 Pro. When you get the official PlayStation 5 Pro patch, which I expect to bring as by default the PlayStation 5 quality mode to make it at 60 Hz and to bring us, the enthusiasts, at least two different modes. Basically, a VRR mode, like a VRR 40 performance mode, or VRR 90 performance mode, VRR 40 quality mode, and another sort of path traced mode running in 30 FPS for Cyberpunk 2077 on the PS5 Pro. And this is what I expect to happen. And as I said before, right now with Dlss 5, basically the way I see it, it's the exact same people. And if you're looking at video games, for example, look at Cyberpunk 2077. You have screen space reflections, okay? You have screen space reflections, and afterwards, if you remember, they went and slowly trickled in ray tracing, and in the end they ended up, I beg your pardon for this pleonasm, but they ended up with path traced reflection. And if you are to look at the face of Jackie from Jessica or Jackie, or I don't know, Pan Am from Cyberpunk 2077, if you are to compare her face, basically the jump is even bigger than what you will get with Dlss 5 AI filtering for Grace in Resident Evil. So if you are to look at Pan Am with no ray tracing, with ray tracing, and with path tracing, the jump is even bigger. And the jump is almost as big coming from ray tracing to path tracing, because that's realism. And I guess I understand the point of view of people hating NVIDIA. I'm no fan of NVIDIA whatsoever, but you have to give credit where credit is due. Basically, if we are bragging about PCs being able to run these graphics mods, and if NVIDIA is bringing this to us as by default, there is no reason to be hypercritical and attack NVIDIA for making things look like that. And this is strongly why I believe that this should be an option. If you don't want to play with Dlss 5 AI filtering, it should be turned off. But if you want to experience that kind of experience, which can be transformative, think about simpler games. But what I Beg your pardon, I'm sick. What I predict that will happen is that people will begin ditching photorealistic graphics in terms of protest against AI filtering. So basically, expect more and more video games to embrace the polygon graphics, the cell shaded graphics, and to try to set themselves apart from the uncanny valley, so to say. And this will be their choice. I for one am very enthusiastic about photorealistic graphics. I'm a fan of photorealism. I'm also a fan of artistic design, but for me, photorealism will always come first, because as you guys can know, as you guys can see on the footage, this is the best depiction of reality. Yes, you can choose to color this in a sort of apply an oil painting filter over the footage that is being recorded right now, or a watercolor painting filter over the footage that we are recording at this precise time. However, this doesn't make the end result any better than reality. And this is the thing. If you are looking at Digital Foundry, what they recorded in Assassin's Creed Shadows, and if you're looking at the world, and if you go and if you appreciate the DLSS 5 landscape more than what is in store for us right now per default, and if you don't like that being applied to human faces, then that is a double standard. And yes, this is basically the same push as it was against ray tracing or path tracing. No, we don't use this. We can do away with per pixel lighting and with screen space reflections and with different light boxes scattered around the game world. Yeah, I get it, because the cost, the hardware cost is very, very big. It's hefty. It's backbreaking almost. But there is no denial that DLSS 5 actually looks better than the original material. This is how it goes. This doesn't detract in the slightest from its merits. And being made by NVIDIA doesn't detract in the slightest from the merits of DLSS 5. I'm sorry to say it, but someone has to say it. There is basically no reason to not allow people to experience DLSS 5. And on that bombshell, I wish you well. Keep safe and sound. Have a wonderful week ahead, and also happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone celebrating, and everyone should actually celebrate. Keep safe and sound. Sector out.